everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video onto our YouTube channel, so you can check that out. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am being joined by my brother, Matt.
Hi, everybody.
On this episode, we are going to be talking about There's Someone in Your House.
Inside your house.
Oh, inside your house. Are you sure?
Yeah, you can't get it wrong. People like drag you.
I can't read my writing. I'll be honest.
No, it's totally fine. I just, you know how people are these days. If you get a letter wrong, they're all like, you use the wrong there. And you're okay, like,
so I'll say the last part again. So there's
no, you don't have to. This is fun keeping this in.
All right.
So, yeah.
First of all, we're going to start off with, what are you drinking over there?
Oh, you know me. I'm a wine whore. So I am drinking Moscato. I started off with a red, but that ran out. And for some odd reason, I was like, I don't know how you are, but I was like, I need something to cool my throat. And I was like, maybe I should get a glass of water. I was like, fuck that. I'll get some more wine. It'll be super fun. So I just got a bottle of Moscato that was in the fridge because white.
Do you ever do that when people are like, don't forget to, if you have 2 drinks, do a bottle of water. And all of a sudden you're like, how many, have I had 2 waters? I think 2.
No.
Oh, no, I always forget to do the water.
If I do it, I take a sip of the water. I'm like, this water's gone bad. It's gone bad. It's not good at all. What are you drinking?
I made a concoction. I'm not sure what it is. I added
it's
a little
blue.
It's blue and it gets darker as it goes down.
It looks delicious.
It's a little Sky Infusion cherry vodka, a little UV blue, a little Sprite, a little cherry grenadine, and then I had a little bit in this Tito's, like one of those itty bitty airplane those bottles. So I threw that in there. It's like a Long Island iced tea, just without the Coke.
Right on.
You know, alcohol.
You take a sip and you're like, and I'm drunk. Right? You should call it yeah, it's a Vetta ice, or it's a Vetta Island iced tea.
Right. I wanted something blue, and so this is what I got.
It's a Vetta Island iced tea minus the tea. Although there's no tea in Long. Yeah, I think it's the color. It looks like tea.
Yeah, it gets a little splash of Coke in it.
Right on. Taking a sippy sip. Delicious.
I had to take a sippy sip.
Yeah, of course.
I hadn't tried it yet. Because like I said, I just poured some stuff together.
Right on.
All right, so before we start talking about the movie in depth, what was your overall thoughts before you watched it?
Before I watched it, I watched the trailer and I thought it looked really good. I was like, ooh, it looks exciting. I'm excited to see this movie.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was too. Same. I love a good horror film.
Yeah.
Did you get scared at any point?
No, not at all.
Did you figure out who the killer was?
No, but when they did the big reveal, I was like,
still happened. Were you like, oh
no? I was like, this is lame as shit.
I'll tell you when I figured it out when we get there.
Okay. What did you think about this movie overall?
I liked it. It's a good time.
Oh, I fucking hated it. I hate this movie.
Did you?
Yeah, I hated it.
It's a high school horror film.
I fucking hated it.
Expectations. That's on you.
I hated it. I didn't have high expectations. I had no expectives. It was awful.
I was upset about the body count. It had a very low body count.
That's one of my negatives.
Until the end. I mean, the kills were pretty good, though. I mean, he didn't really venture out into the realm of different ways. He definitely had a signature MO and all of that. So it was almost
he used a knife, real fucking original.
Right. And then he went to the samurai sword.
Was it a samurai sword? I thought it was like a Nazi sword.
Oh, it could have been. You're right. It could have been from the memorabilia room. Okay.
Yeah. Big reveal.
Yeah. Right. All right. So do you want to start with likes or dislikes?
Well, I want to say a couple of things real quick.
You want to say a couple things?
So, okay. Well, no, we can go to likes. You're running this. You tell me what you want to do. You're running this show.
Now, give me your thoughts. want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I just want to say, okay, first off, I was very disappointed in Makani's backstory. Like I thought it was going to be something grand and something like, oh my god, she's a monster.
It was totally like the buildup on that was way too much, and then it ended up being super lame.
Yeah, because she's there. There's like the fire, and she's like, "I wish I walked into the fire," and you're like, "Ooh, somebody walked into a fire? What's going on?" And then you find out she was drunk and pushed a girl, and she just happened to fall into a fire.
And my whole thing is, yes, nothing comes of it except it's all over the internet with her mugshot. But why the hell was she arrested when it was a hazing event, and she literally had like "bitch" over her face, and one girl had written on her forehead? Like, how are they arresting her and not all these other girls who were pouring alcohol down their throats, writing "cunt" and "bitch" on their foreheads and calling them stupid sluts and all this other shit? They just got to go away scot-free. Like, I don't think that's how real life works.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, this is not how this works. The justice system is a little bit better than this, just a little bit.
Like, I'm not saying she wouldn't have gotten in trouble. Yes, it was an accident, but there probably would have been some counseling, some what do they call it? Community service or whatever.
For sure.
But those other girls in our anti-bullying society, and so crazy, like I can't ever believe hazing was a thing, but it was. And with the anti-everything, there's no way they'd let them walk away.
Yeah,
it contradicts the first kill in the movie.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I didn't I didn't like it. So her backstory. Also, I like the connection with Ollie the whole time. I'm all like, before it was revealed that they were just, fucking and everything. The whole time I thought it would be a little bit different, which I have some thoughts after we do our likes and dislikes that I want to talk to you about. But the whole time I was like, ooh, what's going on with these two? And then the big reveal is like, oh, we're fucking, but we don't want to tell anybody. I was like, oh, this is lame.
Ashamed of him, remember, because he's crazy.
Yeah, which I'm all like, is he though? Like this, all we get from them is like, he's a weirdo. And I'm all like, is he? And he's got a
tragic story. Look what happened to his parents.
Yeah, and his
you thinking that when he was like 7 or 8, he kills them?
Yeah. Yeah. And then like the big reveal is they were in a car accident, but they were drunk.
They were drunk.
Yeah. And nobody talks about how they were drunk. So I'm all like, wait, time out. They were in a car accident and he's the weirdo. What's going on here? This is weird. Right. This is weird. Insane. Maybe I didn't like it.
Small town stuff. I'm not. I'm
maybe.
Not from a small town.
Yeah, we're not. Know. Yeah, we're not small town people. So, what? Say that again.
I said I'm city folk.
Yeah, we're city folk. Maybe it's a small town thing, but I just the whole time I'm all like, I don't understand this plot line at all. And that's another. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I agree.
Yeah. Okay. We can get into likes and dislikes because I'll talk about some of this other stuff in a little bit. But
So I do have one question for you. During the intro, like after the first kid's killed and they do the intro with like, the yearbook and the gossiping and stuff, didn't you get like early 90s teen horror film vibe from that?
Oh, Sweet Pea, I got 90s teen horror movie vibe this whole fucking movie.
Oh, no. That gave me the actual vibe. The whole movie was like trying too hard to go back to being that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, yes, I got that. Like that first kill was trying to be Scream, but with a dude, and I'm all like, it's not working for me.
How pissed off were you that he didn't pay more attention to the egg timer? Like,
oh, listen, I have thoughts on that first one. Okay, I wrote down. Hold on, I wrote it down in my notes, and I'm just going to ask you right now. Shoot, I can't find it in my notes because I wrote a lot of shit down. But okay, let me just ask you this, because I asked my wife this question. If you woke up from a nap and your phone was gone and you found an egg timer on your nightstand, and then you found pictures of you beating a gay kid up, would you stay in your house? Like,
no, this is the first thing. I wouldn't have made it past the kitchen with the Doritos. Okay, and how disgusting was it that his sister licked all the Doritos?
Oh, disgusting.
In the back. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah. Like, it was gross. So, but I would have paid way more attention to that egg timer. And all he does is like, Mom, Sadie. And when he doesn't get a response, he literally just is like, oh, okay. I would have been like, who the fuck turned on? I would have been checking the oven, the microwave, all of that. I can't believe he just walked away from that. And I have news for you. If I would have woke up and my phone was gone and that fucking egg timer was sitting there, I went downstairs and my truck was gone and I couldn't find my phone, the last fucking thing I'm doing is going back into the goddamn house.
Right on. Exactly. Like as soon as his truck was gone, I was all like, if this was, and that's the thing. I know it's a horror movie and everything, but I just wish that they would pay attention closer to like, we need this to be in the somewhat of the realm of possibility or realism. Because if I was in that situation, as soon as my door was open and my car was gone, I would have started running. I just would have been like, fucker can't catch me now.
There's not farm equipment that he can't hop on a tractor.
Yeah. Or listen, I just would not have gone back in the house.
Not going back in the house.
And I'm all like, that's the thing. I'm like these. It's like
kind of that commercial where the kids are being chased by the chainsaw guy, and it's like an insurance commercial or something. And they're like, they're all, should we go through the cemetery? No. Should we go there? And the girl's like, can't we just get into the running car? And the people are like, no, let's go into the barn. And they're hiding in the barn behind all the like sickles and
I remember
and
this.
The killers behind them going like,
yeah, I remember
this. Have to kill them because they're idiots. So
right on. Yeah, no,
that's what kept coming to my head the whole time. Like you got the Scream vibe, I got the, oh, you're an idiot in a horror film.
You remember Scream, that first kill with Drew Barrymore, and you're like, that was so iconic. And like this one, I'm all like, they're trying to go for the same thing, but I'm like, it's not working because you're not doing it right. Like if he would, like, I thought a better idea would just be like, he actually is smart enough to leave the house and just start like walking, and then the killer pops up out of nowhere because
through a cornfield.
Yeah, it was something like that.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, anything but that. But I'm all like, but yeah, so yeah, but I just like the whole time I'm just like, why are you staying in this house? I'm like,
so when he gets to the closet after he's gone through all of the pictures, and this is why I say it contradicts Makani's story, because the girls in her story got no consequences for hazing. Here he like hazed and beat up a gay kid, and there are like the whole town sees it because the killer texts the video to everybody. But in the closet, when he's yelling and screaming at nothing, are you like, why the fuck are you still in the closet? Get out of the closet. He's in the closet.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I think that was a metaphor for more than just his murder.
Oh, that was my whole thing. I was like, is this one of those he beat the shit out of the gay kid because he wanted to get with the gay kid?
That's exactly what I thought. As soon as they mentioned he was gay, I was like, oh, it was like the metaphors, the symbology of it all.
And then I got the whole Pet Cemetery vibe when the ankles got slashed from behind.
Oh, I didn't get that, but okay.
Don't you remember that Gage?
I do remember it now that you say it, but I didn't get it during then.
I think that is always ingrained in my mind. Like anytime I see people's ankles sliced, all I see is that little kid with the scalpel slicing the old man's Achilles. But this kid's bled way more than the old guy.
So much.
So
much blood. All right, so let's move over to our likes and dislikes.
Right. So which would you like to do first, likes or dislikes?
Well, let's just do likes because we might as well. Oh yeah, or you're running this show. You tell me what you want to do.
Okay.
My dislikes pile is way bigger, though. I just want to say
mine are about the same. So we'll go with likes first.
Okay, you go. You want me to go first, or you want to go first for your first like?
No, I like to hear what you have to say.
Well, even though they weren't that great, I did like the kills. I did like them.
I wish there was more.
That's on my dislikes pile. I'll just talk about it now. So I liked the kills in the sense that they weren't like overly gory. So I felt like it was more realistic, just in the sense that for instance, the first kid, he got his ankles cut. And if I got my ankles cut like that, I'd be done. I'd be like, I'm dead now because I'm it hurt. My
favorite part about that kill
is when he's like, you go. When he's laying
on the ground and he goes, do you want money? I can Venmo
you. I like that too, but then I liked how he looked at his face and he's like, this isn't me. And I was like, I'm sorry, but realistically, I would just be crying, be like, please, and everything. But he's all like,
his words because I would be bleeding and I don't like to bleed.
Yeah, I would just yeah. So I do like the kills, and they weren't like I mean, I know like we're in an age where it's like you just need to one up the last movie of being gory and stuff, but I felt like this was more realistic in terms of the kills.
The kills were realistic, but the amount of blood was way
Is
exaggerated.
it? Because well, I don't know. I've never got my ankles cut like that, but
But it squirted out as if it was like, again, it's one of those movies that gave me like the Monty Python vibes when he's getting like his arms and stuff chopped off and there's just blood squirting.
right on. What about you? What's the first thing on your like list?
It was literally when he said, "Do you want money? I can Venmo you."
No, gotcha. You like that line? Yeah, you
He
do.
loved that. Like every time somebody
I don't
hands
like Venmo.
I don't have Venmo. We have a family account, but every time I hear somebody talking about Venmo, that's all. Now I just start giggling because that's all
That's
I think of is
funny.
that kid on the ground.
Right on.
He wasn't, I got money. He's all, I can Venmo you. I got it.
Yeah,
Um,
right on.
I liked how Makani put a get well soon card.
Oh yeah. That
Wow.
was good too. That was a nice touch. And then she's like, the store was out of the sad ones. I was like, sure they were, honey. Sure they were. I didn't write this down, but I love that guy singing because I
Yeah,
was like, what is this song?
it was the school's fight song.
Oh, was it? Because I was all like, I was like, what is this? And then he pours an energy, like he pours a monster on the. He's like, I hope
He's
that's
like,
their
I hope
fire
it's fireball.
in heaven. I was like, what? What's going? What? That's not how heaven works, asshole.
Well, apparently he's been hit in the head too many times. I don't know.
Yeah, which that football. I love how like the football players they like played up their dumbness when he's all like couldn't find her clit, so he took a pizza box and drew it out of pizza sauce. I'm like, what? There's no pen nearby.
Like he couldn't like pull
And
up
there's
a porn video.
yeah, when you have an iPhone, there's literally Google on your phone.
Yeah, and then they're in Nebraska, and
Oh, are they?
yeah,
Okay, you got that. I didn't get it, but go
yeah,
ahead.
they're in Nebraska, and not that I've ever been to Nebraska, but do they have a Southern accent in Nebraska?
I don't know. I've been. I think I've been there, but I think it was like one of those I drew through it kind of thing.
You just
So
you were like, there's Nebraska.
yeah, Nebraska's nice. Took me 8 hours to get through you, but yay.
Yeah, they were in Nebraska, yet they were all, yeah, we did, y'all.
Right. Well, not all of them. Some of them didn't have accents, like the rich kid.
I was very confused, but then I've never been to Nebraska. So I was like, is Nebraska like Indiana? Because, Indiana's north of the Mason-Dixon line, but they have the hugest Southern accent and they
Oh, right,
claim
for
to be
sure.
in the South. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Right.
Sorry, Indiana. You're not in the South. You're north
Right.
of the
That's
Mason-Dixon line.
that's so true. And they so have an accent. They so
And they
have an
love it.
accent. Yeah, they love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not dissing on you,
You know why
Indianers.
you don't want an accent.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So
What's one of your likes?
okay, so the next one on my list. Okay, so I really liked this idea of the serial killer killing people because they have a secret. But some of the secrets I was like, is that warranting death? Because like your friend is like hooked on painkillers, and I was like, yeah, so is half the country, and that's
But my thing is, he's your friend. He's one of the few people in this school that accepts you because your dad's a greedy ass.
yeah, for sure. But I like the whole time, but I did like the concept of like they all had a secret, and I'm all like, even though the secret wasn't like, in my opinion,
Like the first two secrets were good.
oh yeah. Well, I think that like the first one, the football player, I think he beat up that kid because he was gay and he wanted to fuck him and he couldn't come to that realization. And then the second girl, she was obviously a racist and a bigot because that speech
and playing the victim role.
yeah, and that speech at the lunchroom, I was like, oh, you're being a dick to that
I'm with
person.
you're a fucking bully to a whole new level.
Because that Darby person seemed really nice. Like I was like, I would want to be friends with that Darby person. Like I thought they were nice, even though they were only in it for like 10 seconds, personality wise.
Right.
Yeah. But I was like, I would like that whole table. I was like, they, except for the black girl seemed kind of bitchy, but that was her character. But I was like, the rest of them, they
she also admits that and likes
it. Exactly. But I was like, they seem kind of nice. I was like, I would talk to them and be like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Island of misfit toys.
Wait, say that again.
I said they're like the island of misfit toys.
Yeah. So
what did you think of the car conversation? I did like that too, when they got in the car at the end of the school day, and on the side, and it was spray painted onto the side of the car, property of, what the hell is his last name? Sanford.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Family Fucks or something like that. And they get in he's all like, you want to get in the car and smoke? And they were all like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the conversation, but I mean, like, whatever. What did they talk about? I don't remember. I didn't write it down.
It's just stupid stuff like that they talk about when,
Well, I have other thoughts, funny. But I'll get into that after.
Because it was really funny because they were smoking and then they go to try to leave, but then Ollie's car pulls up in front of them and then they stop and then they don't leave. Like
right,
even after Ollie tried to leave, they just sitting there.
We almost hit somebody, so let's wait here for 4 more hours.
We're gonna stay here until all the other cars are gone, guys. Right on. It's safer.
What was something else on your like list?
I liked at the party that the fountain outside had all of those beer cans in it.
Oh, that was super.
Inside,
yeah, that was super awesome. Fun.
But inside, they were all drinking out of Solo cups.
Oh my gosh, and blue. I'm glad they chose blue because there's this perception that Americans drink out of those red Dixie cups, and I'm all like, listen. I've had those at a couple parties, but for the most part, I serve in blue or see-through cups at parties that I throw. So I'm all like, I don't know where this is coming from.
I did go to a party one time that the shot cups were the little mini red Solo cups.
Yeah, they were probably doing that as a fun thing.
Like it was a funny thing.
Yeah, because I'm
like, but we had glasses otherwise.
Yeah, that's I was all like, maybe we're like the weirdos of life, because I'm all like, I don't serve when I have a party, I don't serve them in those red Dixie cups. I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe I'm in my own little bubble. I don't know, but I was just like, I did. Like Europeans have American parties. I'm putting up quotations for people that can't see me, but but they buy those red Dixie cups, and I was like, what is this? What's going on here? What is this?
They're all drinking out of red Solo cups.
Like the Americans love these red cups for some reason. I was like, no, I don't love those red cups. I thought
they would keep our drinks cold.
Yeah, right.
The ice melts just like all the others.
Yeah, you guys know there are actual glasses.
Look, we're using them right now. Real.
Exactly. So, and we're having a party right now, just so you know.
But I loved the fountain with all the beer cans in it. And I was like,
I did. Yeah.
In my head, though, I went, but you're not partying outside. That would be super cool.
Oh, that's a good point too. Party. Who came out here to just throw beer cans in a fountain?
I was like, so you got to go outside to get a beer, or you can just get a blue Solo cup and pour a mixed drink.
It was probably the footballers because they're dicks. Although here's a thought. Maybe the rich kid filled up the fountain with ice and beer, and it just melted.
That just melted. Yeah.
That's actually a fun idea.
That is.
Rich people problems.
Have to go outside.
Yeah, rich people problems.
Wouldn't it just be easier to get a keg?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point too. But I'm just spitballing. I'm drinking.
They don't have a lot of party experience. They're teenagers.
Right on.
They're amateurs.
Right on. Another
what
thing
else is on your list?
Oh, I wrote on my like list. I liked that he made the masks of the face of the person he was going to kill. I was like, that's very inventive. I did also like his line where he was like, you know how hard it is to make these masks? And I'm like, then don't do it, fuckface. Like,
and I like the line there at the end that he's like, you only get to kill your dad. What? Oh,
right. And he's like, I bet you regret giving me the art of war at age 9 now. And he's like, it sounds stupid now. And I'm all like, it would sound stupid if he was alive.
I just think you're crazy. That's why you think it'll sound stupid. It's stupid no matter what.
Yeah, and also, who sits and memorizes a speech to their parent? And
Okay, it's like that dark, how villains always have their little evil monologue. I think
right
that's what his
on.
was supposed to be. It was supposed to be they interrupted his evil monologue.
Right. I guess so, but I was like, he sat and thought about this. Like me, I just go off the cuff and
Well,
everything.
clearly he thought about it because I feel like he was doing this. He could have killed his dad at any time. He went through this whole elaborate plan. He didn't have to kill all those other people. He really
Right.
had no reason to kill
Yeah,
them.
like
This was
why
all
did
to kill his dad.
yeah, like don't get me wrong. Like the white girl that had that racist podcast episode, I didn't feel bad for her. But like I understand that the kid, like the football player at the beginning, he beat up that kid, which is bad. But it's obvious he's got something going on. He's gay and he didn't want to admit it. But
Or he's bi-curious. Either way, he's got
oh
something
no,
going
he's
on.
gay. Come on, he's gay, and they're obviously saying he's gay because he was in the closet when he died,
And he never
and
comes out of the closet alive.
yeah.
Okay.
But I go. Okay, so he's that's happened to plenty of people. I'm pretty sure if let's just pretend he had certain. I know we're talking about fake characters here, but let's just pretend he had not been killed, and 10 years down the road, he realizes he's gay. He goes back to Connor. I don't know if that's the kid's name that he beat up, but
No.
Colin. It doesn't
Craig?
matter. Anyways, let's just pretend he goes back. He's like, Caleb, there we go. Look at you. I knew it was a K. Anyways, he goes back and he's all like, hey, I'm sorry I beat you up. I want to suck your dick and everything. So, like, it could have been like that situation. And then who else did he kill? Oh, and Makani. I'm sorry. Did she deserve to die because she pushed a bitch while she was drunk? I mean,
it wasn't
how many
really a push. It was more like a stumble.
Yeah, exactly. And
she was all Jasmine.
Well,
And it kind of looked like she
yeah, exactly.
tripped, drunk, and pushed her.
And
it wasn't
even
like she maliciously.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. And that's why I was all like, did Makani deserve to die because she pushed a girl that tripped and fell into a fire? Like,
yeah. No.
I was like, yeah, oh, come on.
I'm going to backtrack a little.
Go, you backtrack.
I'm going to tell you when I figured out who the killer was. It was at the party.
Oh, did you?
He was sitting on the couch, and the one girl told the one boy that they both swapped that their secrets were they had a crush on each other. And then Makani goes, I write poetry. And he goes, that's your secret. Like he makes this.
And he rolled his eyes.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. When I watched it the second time, I noticed that and everything. But
and we totally skipped over his dad's Nazi room, the 10th largest.
Well, we mentioned it early, but we can talk about it now because, okay, I was all, as soon as they did that, I was like, seriously, come on. I have thoughts on this, which I want to talk about after our dislike and like list because I'm going to rant for a hot minute.
Okay, well, we'll come back to it then because I don't really have much on it. I mean, I do have stuff to say about it as well that really isn't in the likes or dislikes. It's just more of a realistic, like,
right on
things that didn't make sense. So we'll come back to that.
What was another thing on your like list? Because I just went.
I don't have anything else. I've said it all.
All right, I have one more.
Like how he used the photos to kind of creep him out in advance.
Oh, for sure. That was Well, I mean, like his plan was clever.
Yeah, and I liked the girl in the church's murder. I can't remember her name. I can remember Kayla's,
who cares?
but I
she
can't
was a
remember
dick.
The racist's name.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is
do they need a name?
No. She pulled another.
We won't speak her name.
I think it was Allison though.
I think it was Allison.
It's another one of those like you felt like it was a typical horror film move because rather than running out of the church, she went into the fucking confessional box.
Oh, I know. Listen, a lot of again, the kid went into his house. She ran into it was a lot of bad mistakes, and I'm all like, I'm sorry. I live circa in the real world, and I would not be like
finding the nearest exit.
Yeah, and I know she tried to run out the exit, but I'm all like, I don't know, man.
Why in horror films can they never turn the lock? Because even in Scream, Sydney can open the door, but she forgets to take the chain off. I'm sorry,
Right.
those
Well,
chains aren't that strong. You could have just yanked and it would have popped open.
Yeah, and she had like what 4 pews in between her and the killer, and I'm all like, I would just stand there and be like, "Hey, we're gonna just sit here and walk, left and right until you fucking move, dude, and then I'm gonna run away from you."
He stabs her, and she crawls under the pews. She gets up, and there's still pews between
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I'm like,
to him.
just stay under the pew. Yeah, pew pew. Anyways, all right. So I have one more thing on my like list, and then we'll move on to the dislike list if you're ready. But I wrote down Dave, the Uber driver. I loved this character. He made me so happy. I love that he was at
my next Uber driver to be him.
I was like, I don't even use Uber. I use Lyft, but I would give Dave 5 stars.
I use both. So, totally. But didn't you just love when she was in the car with him and he's like, yeah, that girl that died wasn't a nice girl. You're a nice girl. Aren't you a nice girl?
I like having nice girls in the car. I'm like, okay, Dave, calm it down, creeper. Okay.
Dave, you're trying to get work here. Stop creeping the clientele out.
You're passing out business cards, weirdo. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that if somebody turns on their Uber app, you're the first person that pops up because you're the only Uber driver in that fucking town. Okay.
They're going, shit. It's a 5-mile walk, or I gotta ride 5 minutes with Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. And I found that if you just bring up Star Trek and just talking Star Trek with those people, they completely blank out because they don't know what you're talking about. You just do that. Just learn like watch 5 episodes of Star Trek and start talking about them. And they'll be like, oh, okay.
That video, that it's the Uber driver going, the 5 Uber questions they're guaranteed to get, and it's like, so do you like driving for Uber? How long have you been driving for Uber?
Oh, gotcha. I've never seen that before.
What kind of extras do you have as an Uber?
Right on. Okay.
Madison in Zombie Land, where she's That's like, funny. They could have waters and candy.
Right on. All right. So you want to move on to the dislike pile?
Yeah. What's one of your dislikes?
Oh, I wrote this down as my number 1, but I'll skip it because I'm gonna go off on a tangent if I bring it up. But okay, so I wrote down, yeah, there's not enough kills in this movie. And I know we've touched on it throughout this whole thing, but there's all right, the first kill takes place like right away. And then the second kill doesn't take place until like 21 minutes in. I was like, waiting almost a half hour for the second kill. And they don't even start finding out. They don't even start trying to find out who the killer is.
Like a murder mystery, not a horror film.
Yeah. And they don't even try to find out who the killer is until half hour in. And I'm all like, that's when the movie starts. I'm like, this is taking too long. I don't have time for this. I was like,
and then when the body count does pick up, it doesn't even pick up a ton because it's at the end with the corn maze. You really only see 2 or 3 bodies, and then him killed the dad. And you're going, granted, there probably would have been more bodies because it was a corn maze on fire.
Right on. So, which I like that corn maze fire idea, but I'm just like, it's just like the body count was just way too low for any horror movie. And I'm all like, and I'm just like, and plus if the body count was still low, but it was more intriguing, like say we keep bringing up Scream, because Scream, I just felt like the writing on that was 10 times better than this movie, and the body count wasn't that huge on that movie either.
And let's be honest, there were some comical moments in Scream. They were just
yeah. So I just was a little bit annoyed with the body count and / the kills. There wasn't enough. I mean, like, and even with the fire, the corn maze fire, they walk through it and you saw like a dead football player, but I'm all like, oh, okay.
It's the football player that was in his house. Did you make the connection that when he goes, you guys spray paint, vandalized my car, and the one guy goes, yeah, we did. He's the dead football player in the corner.
No, I wasn't paying that close attention. What was the first thing on your dislike list?
I don't like Makani's poetry.
Oh, yeah, right. I wrote poetry. Well, listen here, Edgar Allan Poe. Maybe you shouldn't. I agree.
Poetry's not for everyone.
Right, exactly. And I don't even listen. I'm okay. Tiny rant off subject. I don't even like poetry. Poetry's fucking lame. I don't understand it. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't care. I can pass on poetry.
Well, I just didn't like hers.
Right on,
And
which is fair.
and it was reaffirmed at the end when she was giving her valedictorian speech.
Well, yeah,
It
her
was
shitty speech. Yeah, like, and everybody's clapping up and like, the what?
Okay, and can I just say, it was very unrealistic that they all had, I'm only saying this because I brought up graduation, they all had rolled up diplomas. When have you ever seen at a graduation, they roll up the diploma with a ribbon around it?
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. Mine was given me in like a foldery type. Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It was like a leather little
Yeah,
folder
exactly.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Like,
they
let's,
all, the budget ran tight. Okay. So
yeah,
the prop
even
guy rolled up some paper and put a ribbon on.
right. Yeah, stop handing out diplomas then in your movies, okay? Because everybody, the jig is up.
We know their graduation. We don't have to see the diploma.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, I think I wrote down on my dislike list. The next thing I wrote down was the killer reveal. I didn't like this. I just thought it was very so I wrote down on here that I thought there were way better ideas that they could have done. Like my immediate reaction was and this goes into my next dislike, which I'll kind of touch on right now, but I thought a better idea for who the killer was actually it was Ollie and Makani that did it. Makani,
that would have been nice.
yeah, because Makani, she sleepwalks.
No, that's
so,
Ram.
No, this is the thing. She also sleepwalks because the whole
the sleepwalker, but blames it on Graham.
Yeah, well, this is my whole. This was what I thought while I was watching this
Netflix,
movie.
listen up.
Yeah, Netflix, listen up. Which I have to be honest, right now, I am like trying to read my notes. I am so hammered right now. I've been drinking for a while, so I'm trying to read my notes, but I'm going to try to talk very straight with you. Okay. So while I was watching it, I was coming up with a better movie than they wrote. So I was all like, oh my God, Makani, when she walks into the kitchen and she sees all the dishes everywhere, she's like, that's new. I thought Makani did that and she blamed it on her grandmother. And then Ollie, because they keep putting all these little pictures and text messages, why are you ignoring me and bullshit? I thought that Ollie knew that she had inherited this insomnia, sleepwalking from her grandmother, and that he was taking advantage of it, and she was doing the killing and he was leading her to do the killing. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And then the big reveal of it was the rich white kid. I was like, oh, this is bullshit. Fuck you, Netflix and whoever wrote this. And I was like, I wrote a better movie in 2 minutes than you did in a whole fucking 2 hours. I was like, oh,
there are never any rich kids killing people in horror films.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just so annoyed because I was like, oh, it would have been way better if it was anybody. But like, I was just like, man, I was like, it was so horrible. Like so I didn't like the big reveal.
Like and they do mention the sheriff on the news that he's like he, she, or them. But it never crossed my mind that it should be a team. That's an excellent idea. I did not like the kill of Rodrigo because he tased him into the beer floating fountain.
Yeah.
And then he shoved the fentanyl, like poured the whole bottle down his throat and then slit his throat. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. He didn't even get a chance to get numb.
Right. Like, why did you pour the pills down his throat if you were just going to slit his throat?
Yeah. And then he went swimming and didn't even wait a half hour.
The whole thing, I was like, and the only good thing about it is they imply that he sleeps with the chick, the bitchy girl that I can't remember her name. They imply that he sleeps with her. So I'm like, well,
which I was happy about that. I was like, at least he got laid before he died.
Yeah. But his kill was shitty. He should be pissed off. That's how he died.
Yeah. And at least she has now his baby, so she can remember him. So, because they didn't have a condom. What was the next thing on your?
The football player asks for chips.
Oh, right on. Yeah. What was the next thing on your dislike list?
I have Zach's dad's a dick outside the police station.
Oh, right on. Well, I don't know. Like, this is my whole thing. Like, I understand he was buying up the land in that small town, but I was like, he's like, as any parent, like I just want, like I'm trying to save up a little nest egg for my kids' college fund, and like I'm trying to save up money so that way I can pass something on to them, later on down the road. So I was like, is it really bad that he just wants the best for his family and everything? I don't.
That's the vibe you got from it.
That is the vibe I got from it.
Get that vibe. We
I
are not connecting on that.
I was just like, like, yeah, he's a dick, but like, I'm just like, you're gonna inherit all this money.
They rolled in every single rich old white guy stereotype into this one man.
That's true. That's very true. Oh, I have thoughts on that. Don't worry. We're gonna get into that.
I was just like, but the whole time he's in the car, he's like, you smell like weed and you just walked into the lion's den. And I'm like,
right on.
And I just want to go, how is he the only parent in this town that lawyered up and told the cops they can't talk to his kid?
Right. Right. Exactly.
The entire fucking high school is in the police station. And he's the only one that the parent was smart enough to go, you're not talking to my kid without an attorney present.
Exactly. Or a parent. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, why are these kids' parents not called? It is illegal for you to question them without a parent present.
Unless they're 18.
Yeah, maybe, but let's be honest. How many of those?
They weren't.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm sorry. Most seniors are 17 when they graduate. It's I mean, like, it's fine because it's a movie and everything, but at the same time I go, can we just add a little bit of realism in here, just a little bit, please, for daddy?
Just maybe that one or two parents that comes in all ranting going, you ain't talking to my kid, let's go. Hey, you two,
right? Exactly.
She's not gonna want you in here.
Exactly. All right, so the next thing I had on my list of dislikes was there were too many like subplots in this movie. Like, you had the grandma that sleepwalk, which would have fed into nicely if they had done my idea.
No relevance.
Yeah, no relevance.
Other than she's gone.
Yeah.
The night all this goes down.
Yeah, you had the Ollie and her
Makani's murder killing.
Yeah.
When he tries to kill her, them's the words I'm looking for.
Yeah, you had Ollie and her Makani fucking, and her keeping it secret, and I'm all like, why? Like, it's so weird.
The crazy kid and she's ashamed.
Yeah. And then like there was just too many like of these subplots that I'm just like, it didn't really like play into the plot that much to the overall arcing story or whatever. So I'm all like, why? Like, I'm just like, because you're chewing up screen time. Like, where did you go to school at? Brown? You can write better than this. Let's do this. Come on.
He disliked when after she gets out of the hospital and she's in the school parking lot to catch the bus to the corn maze, and all the football players are all acting like they're going to the state championship to get on the corn maze bus.
Oh, now that you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, they did. I was like, I've been in a corn maze. They're not that exciting, yo.
You would have thought they were getting on the bus to go to the state championship the way they were there.
Yeah.
And now and in that 2-second phone conversation, she couldn't get on the bus while she was talking.
Yeah. Did you notice the bus hadn't left yet? And she's like, the bus just left. And I'm like, it hasn't pulled away yet. You could catch it.
You couldn't walk and talk at the same time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They will allow cell phones on that bus, honey.
Or you can just walk closer so they know you're planning to get on.
Yeah, exactly. And what dick bus driver just leaves when he can obviously see her just standing there?
And leaves the girl that was just attacked by a psycho killer alone in the parking lot. And then Ollie pulls up. She would have been safer just to stay outside rather than running into the dark school. And why was the school still open? All the lights were off.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm just like, listen, whoever did this didn't go to high school, or at least to a public high school. Because I know the one I went to.
Once they lock up, at least ours did, certain parts of the building got locked up.
Yeah.
The school was over.
Yeah. And they put those cages up and those little cages, and
metal
Yeah, they've shut off sections of the school.
Like if there was like band practice after school, the minute that was done, that section of the school, the minute the gyms were done, the only part of the school that was open by the end of the night was like the detention part. Like,
right on.
So I was seriously like, what is happening? She would have been safe to stay out in broad daylight and use that cell phone to call 911 outside.
Right
like
on.
That whole part was very strange.
Yeah, I want to mention something else, and I should have mentioned it earlier before I talk about my last thing that I didn't like. I love how the black girl, I don't remember her name, the bitchy girl. What?
Yeah. I can't remember her name either.
I love how she's all like, who else has access to a taser? And I'm all like, you guys know you can buy a taser on Amazon. Like you can literally have it 2-day delivered.
They'll have it.
Yeah. I could right now while we're doing this podcast, I could literally order one on my phone and it could be here in 2 days. Like, stop it. What is going on here? Because
and Zach pipes in and goes, yeah, he can do a background check and find all that. I'm like, guys, for $14.99, I can background check all you bitches.
Yeah. I literally listen. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm gonna brag a little bit. I am an expert on Google. I can find out all your information. If you have LinkedIn, you're fucked when it comes to me. I will find out your whole life story. Okay. So I just want to be, I'm just like as soon as they were like, who has access to a taser? I'm like, everyone has access to a taser. It's $50 on Amazon, 2-day shipping. Stop it.
Same thing with the background check. I was like, dude, for $14.99, you can background check anybody all you want.
Yeah. It's so yeah, and like the football players said, you just Venmo that shit.
Right?
Yeah.
And the only other last thing I have on the dislike, and it's more of a confusion than a dislike, but it's on my dislike list, is the killer hands her the knife, puts the bloody knife in her hand.
No, yeah.
She never puts it down. Like,
thank you.
Car and is in the corn maze and is still holding a bloody knife.
Yeah.
The cops didn't think anything of it when they took Caleb to the hospital.
Yeah, thank you, Chef.
Evidence.
Right. Thank you, Chef Ramsay. You're a crappy gift giver.
Give me a used knife.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a good point. Like, yeah. And I love how she took it like, hey, asshole, your fingerprints are on this now. He can. Like I swear, like they wrote this to be like such a stereotypical horror movie. And you're just like, can we just add some just a little, like I said before, a little bit of realism, just a tiny bit.
Fit in the car. Like Ollie grabs her hand, and in the other hand, you get
yeah. Gotta keep this thing.
The whole thing of they wanted the knife that the killer used to kill him and everything. And if you notice, she stabs him at the end the same way he stabbed the football player in the beginning. But I'm like, did she really need to hold on to the knife for 2 hours?
Right on. Yeah. All right. I want to get into my last thing on my dislike list. I'm going to go on a little rant. Okay.
I love a good rant, especially a good drunk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sweet pea. We're going to get into this. Okay. So I am so sick and tired of this SJW horror movie bullshit in this movie. Okay. I'm sorry. Could they have touched on any more fucking SJW shit with this bullshit? There was so much social science and political concepts in this movie. And it was just like, it was ridiculous. Like they just thrown every fucking political talking point at the wall to see what would stick. And they didn't even touch on, like, I'm all like, if you're going to do that, fine, that's fine. But pick one and just expand on it. But no, they didn't do that. They picked everything under the fucking sun. And they were like, let's talk about this. I mean, you had Darby, because she's obviously, trans. Not picking a sex or a gender.
Or what is that one called? Is she asexual? Is that what that one is?
Listen, there's too many for me to mention. I don't know which one it is, but I'm all like, okay, fine.
In multiple.
Yeah, she fit in multiple, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, whatever. Okay, you got that. Then you got racism. You've got the black girl that hates white people. You've got,
privilege.
Yeah, you have white privilege.
One percenter
the
privilege.
1%ers, the Nazi memorabilia thing, which you're going to talk about in a minute. You've got
the
all this
anti-police, everything.
Yeah, the anti-police. You've got and the defund the police. You've got the rich guy and everything. It was so much shit wrapped into a 2-hour movie that I'm all like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, I've had enough. Hold on, I wrote down some more thoughts, but I can't read it now because everything's blurry. That I'm just like, it was just pick one thing and stick to it. Yeah. Okay. So I was just so, by the end of it, I was just so annoyed. Like, I'm all like, listen, if you want to go woke, that's fine. But this went real woke. Like, it's like
tried to wake the whole neighborhood.
Yeah. Like, I just like I'm all like, a white woman wrote this. Who wrote this? I'm going to look it up while you're talking, but I'm just like, who wrote this movie? Because this is ridiculous. Like, I'm just like,
I feel like, and I don't know because I don't know who wrote it, but I feel like it was someone who's never actually been touched by any of these topics. But when I think I'm supposed to care about this, so maybe I should put this in here.
Yeah, it was so obnoxious. Yeah, it was based on, but Stephanie Perkins wrote the novel that this is written on, and then Henry Gayden wrote it. So of course it was 2 white people that wrote it. Like I said, a white woman. White women always, they like to please soccer moms, which really annoys the fuck out of me. So 2 white people wrote on a whole bunch of shit that they don't understand and they don't get.
Didn't affect them
at all. And it really bothers me because I'm just like, and they just threw, like I said, they threw everything at the fucking wall to see what would stick. And as a viewer, I'm like, I'm wasting my time on your bullshit.
Yeah, you're missing an excellent chance to give me some good content here.
Yeah, like pick 1 or 2, do a horror movie. Like, everybody wants to be Jordan Peele with their commentary in their horror movies, and I'm all like, yeah, but you could have done a really good job. Like, the concept was interesting, but you just the payout was fucking annoying. I hate this movie.
So I'm gonna touch on the Nazi memorabilia.
Do it, because I personally was just like, when that happened, I was like, what's going on here?
When he
Oh yeah, which was, I was like, oh, that's such a pretentious rich person thing. Like, even though clap on was like a thing in the 90s.
Yep, he did that.
Yeah. with his Hugh Hefner robe.
And everyone did that shock and awe.
Yeah. It was just,
which I'm gonna go with if he has the 10th largest Nazi memorabilia collection in North America. This isn't the first time this town's heard about this.
Yeah, which
spending tons of money on this shit.
Right. Which I just want to say, like, when he's like, this is the 10th one, I was like, is it though? Is it the 10th one? Because it looks like a lot of shit in there. There's like so much stuff. I'm like,
I've taken the time to turn everything into hookahs, bongs, and pipes. I went, but did you though?
Yeah.
Dad would have noticed his shit missing, and that would have took a long fucking time.
Yeah, and I just go, that trumpet, I was like, that's already a bong. Like, you just put it in the end of there.
Yeah.
Like, did you
really put it with the guns? I'm going, yeah. He hands that gun to Caleb, and Caleb's looking at him like, Caleb, I see you. Caleb's going, I don't want to try this one. Right. Somebody else want to get this.
Yeah. I feel like there's a bullet in there, not a hit.
I'm with Caleb because that's the look Caleb gives you when he gets handed that gun. He's looking at it like, I'm not trying to hit this, guys. Somebody else want to hit this one. I want the gas mask.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right. Can I have the foam where I can see the weed in it? Like, yeah, no, I just I hate this movie so much. Okay. Yeah, no, like, when that happened, I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me, because that was after the long rants and everything at the lunch table. That's all I have written down as far as everything.
Yeah, I didn't have much else written down. I mean, the night, I just loved her carrying the knife around for forever. Like,
The longest knife available.
She kept that knife in her hand. Like you weren't prying that out of her hand no matter what.
Yeah, I was like, that's practically a sword, honeybee.
No one says anything either. Nobody. They're all running with her. And I'm like, girl, you trip. You're going to cut your own head off.
Yeah. One more thing that I want to touch on. I like how she's like, you said this car is a crappy car. And then they're just like, let's drive it through the cornfield. I'm like, yeah, but he's poor. Like maybe a crappy car.
It's a crappy car. It's his only.
Yeah, I have a crappy car. I'm not going to drive it through a burning cornfield. Like,
right, because I'm pretty sure your insurance doesn't cover that shit.
Yeah, I just want to.
You do save people's lives. I don't think they're covered.
Yeah, exactly. The insurance company be like, that was great what you did. We so we are so supportive of that, but you're not covered. So
driving your car into a fire is not listed on your policy. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, there's no good Samaritan clause. Sorry.
And they all jumped out of it like they expected it to blow up like in the movie.
And it never blew up. It never blew up. Like even if there was an explosion at the end, like, oh, there it is, finally. No, it never happened.
I kind of thought they were going to do like one of those pan out away from the fire when you heard all the sirens and stuff and you'd see them approaching and then it'd go kaboom, but it did not.
Yeah, which I'm just like, which all you had to do was just wipe off that stuff on the front, which I'm all like, just cover up your hand and just wipe it off. It's fine. It's fine.
What was it? It was like a Buick or something. Them old Buicks are built like a fucking tank.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah, the corn fire at the end, there were a lot of things, like they were in the smoke, like as they're running after they get out of the car and they wait for it to explode and it doesn't, and they're running and she still got the knife and they're going through the smoke and they're and they're running and then all of a sudden they get to this open area.
I'm sick.
Yeah, they get to this open area. There's fire, but it's making a perfect ring around them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a perfect backdrop against the killer.
No smoke, not an out. Like, I'm sorry, you build a campfire or in your backyard. Like, we have one of those little buy it at Target fire pits for outside. Like, even that shit, like, you gotta move around it with the wind or otherwise.
Oh, right. Ain't that the truth? I feel like I always set in the wrong spot.
But they found the sweet spot.
Yeah, they did.
The only place in this cornfield. The fire cannot go past the little circle round.
Right.
Nor does the wind blow any smoke.
Yeah, it was the largest part of the corn maze that was like hollowed out so they could do this whole scene, and I'm all like,
and it was sand. It wasn't even like it was like just threw a whole bunch of sand so the fire couldn't.
Yeah, I just want to be like, I don't think these people have seen a corn maze because this is way too big of an area for a corn maze. Like even the middle of the corn maze is not this big.
The middle, and they were
yeah.
They were frying.
Right. Yeah. Like they're like, oh, hey, we'll do one of those corn mazes in those podunk towns. And I was like, you've never been to a corn maze. I can tell by this movie. I don't even think you guys have been in a cornfield, let alone a corn maze. I'm
telling you, that corn maze at the end was something like so much about it. I'm like you. A, they've never been to a corn maze. And B, I don't think they understand how fire works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Ain't that the truth? Because you're all like, like California has the craziest wildfires. Maybe you guys should go do some studying a little bit.
Guys, should we consult with the fire department?
Right.
If we're gonna do a movie about fire.
Right.
How's this burn?
So, right on.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. I mean, it's a good movie. I watched it twice. I would watch it again.
Oh, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
No.
You didn't think it was like stupid? Like,
wait, say that again. What?
You didn't think it was like one of those horror films that was just like stupid, so you'll watch it again?
No, I would never watch this again. I'm annoyed that I watched it twice and gave it 2 views on Netflix because they're like, oh, this is popular. No.
I did give it a thumb down because I do rate my movies.
Oh, I don't.
I do.
Maybe I'll start doing that because.
But I liked it from the aspect of I think if I watched it some more, I would find more shit to nitpick at and be pissed off about.
Oh, I'm plenty pissed. I don't need to watch it again. I've wasted enough time on this fucking movie. I hate
like
this.
the Barney Five sheriff, Ollie's brother, who was all, did you happen to see anyone leave here with my taser?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I did. Now that you say that, but I mean, like, it wasn't enough for me to like
I only laugh about it now because you said you went on Amazon and for $50 you could have one in 2 days. But Zach,
that's like
whose dad is
58.62.
super crazy rich,
Yeah.
he somehow figured out how to steal the cops.
Yeah, right? Like, hey, 1% or whatever you were talking about. Like, just buy one. Maybe he didn't want the paper trail or whatever.
Okay, but his dad's hiring a private security company.
Right on. And he's doing that whole thing where he's like doing a background check. Apparently that's like high tech and shit. And he's making like high tech. I like how he's like, you know how hard it is to make these masks? And I'm like, yeah, but you literally had a 3D printer. That's like what, like 16 hours?
Actually, it's really not that hard. You scanned the picture in. They showed us at the beginning in the little intro. You cut the picture out of the yearbook. You cut around the actual face, scanned it into your computer, and then the printer did everything. Yeah, probably takes like 2 days.
Yeah. So sorry you had to paint on skin.
I go, good on you for your organizational and time management skills that you got them all printed in time.
Right.
But was it really that hard for you, rich kid?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's so annoying.
Okay, so you're definitely a don't watch this.
Do not watch this. Do not waste your time. You will hate it.
You should watch it. It's funny.
Don't listen to her. She has bad ideas. It's a bad movie. It's not good.
He's had some drinks.
Yeah, I'm drunk, but I'm talking wisdom here. Is not a good. Don't listen to her. Listen, out of us two, I have taste.
I'm older and wiser.
No, I have taste. She can be older and wiser. That's all fine.
I have taste.
I have taste. Listen, you can't teach taste. And obviously you didn't learn anything.
And apparently,
so,
if you have to put that much effort into telling me how much taste you have.
Oh, honeybee, I have the best taste.
Do you though?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Fucker.
All right. So we're gonna move to the next statement. So we're a little split on this one, guys. So if you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't.
Don't.
And if you like it, please feel free to DM Matthew and let him know how much you love
it. Do it. I'll listen. I won't agree with you, but whatever.
So for our next segment, we're going to move on to our questions. Matthew, why don't you go ahead and go first? What is your question today?
All right. So my question for you is, what is your favorite high school horror movie?
Okay, so I'm probably quite predictable on this one. I picked Scream. It was a toss-up between Scream and Carrie, because Carrie's just, everyone thinks of it as like the, big bully, get back at the bullies. It's got the, pouring the pig's blood on her scene. But Scream, it just was the first of its kind. It's comical and horror film at the same time. Sydney's she's like a nice mix between, I'm going to kick the killer's ass, but I'm going to make all the typical girly mistakes in a horror film. Like, instead of going out the front door, I'm going up the stairs. Even after I said that's what stupid girls in horror films do. So that was my pick.
Right on. My pick was Scream. I love this movie so much. Again, yeah, it's so iconic. It's like the best. Like, I love this horror movie so much. It's not, I remember seeing it in the theater. I know I'm old enough. Me and you are old enough that we remember seeing it in the theater. But I remember watching this for the first time. The Drew Barrymore scene was like so iconic.
Don't you love how like Drew Barrymore died in the first 15 minutes of this movie, but she is the first character you think of. Like,
absolutely.
She's on posters and t-shirts.
Absolutely. Like
everything.
Yeah. And that's what's so iconic about it. It's like so great. And then Neve Campbell, I'm sorry. She's so hot. I can't wait for this 5th one to come out and everything, but she's so hot. And she's like, I literally thought in the 90s I was going to marry her. Like, as a young boy, I was like, that is my wife. I was in
love. Like, would you settle for some PG-13 teen.
Yeah, no, like it was so great. I love this movie. So I love the Scream series, but like this one is my favorite one. I just love it. It's so good. And like the high school aspects of it are so unrealistic, but whatever, it's fine. I love how in every high school movie they wake up and for breakfast, because they make a perfect, 5-course breakfast at during daylight. And I'm all like, well, they've never went to high school, because when I went to high school, it was darkness outside when I went.
And you grabbed a Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
If you were
exactly.
lucky.
Yeah, exactly. Or a cold piece of pizza, and you're all like, well, and you had to catch the bus. So, but
Or your friend, the one friend that had a car was picking up 12 people to fit in their
right.
2-seater
Yeah,
car.
exactly. So but it's still, I love this movie so much. I can't say enough good things
It
about
seriously
Scream.
has like one of my favorite like lines, like when Stu, after he's stabbed by Billy,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, I'm feeling
Woozy. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
like, my mom's gonna be so mad. I'm like,
yeah, it's great. All right, so
yeah.
moving on, what's your question?
So my question is, what is your favorite horror film mask, like slasher mask?
Okay. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember the name of the movie, but it's Babyface from the movie The Hills Run Red. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but I remember watching this movie and I was like, it's so creepy. And it's a baby face. Like they took a baby, like a big doll, and made a mask out of it. But like the jawline is like cut off. It just creeped me out. I was like, and the movie is the movie's not great, but the killings are very gory and everything. And I was like, well, I like kind of like that. But yeah, I just remember like the mask. I was like, I don't like it. But at the same time, I was like, that's what makes me like it, is that I don't like
I'll
it.
have to send you the picture. So I think it was for my oldest 13th birthday or something. I took her and some friends to a hibachi grill, where they cook on the table,
Right.
Japanese restaurant.
Yeah, I know what a hibachi grill is.
It wasn't really for you. It was for the people listening in case somebody doesn't.
Our audience is not stupid. They know what a hibachi grill is.
Maybe.
That's true. I don't think they knew what a duvet was from the last episode. So, I mean.
So when it came time, like they knew we were celebrating birthday, they brought out this giant, like ceramic baby doll head and put it on her.
And you stayed there? I would have freaked out. Baby doll heads are crazy scary. I do not like it.
You brought that up. I was like, oh my God. That's because it had like a crack in it too. And I was like, it's like that head they put on.
Don't go back to this restaurant. I'm scared you talking about it. This creeps me out. I don't like it.
Send you the picture.
I don't like it. I don't like the story you're telling. I might edit it out. I don't like it. Like,
anyways, fine.
What's
my favorite is the rabbit mask from Donnie Darko.
Oh, I love that mask. I love it. It's creepy but cute.
Right? Like it takes like the Easter bunny and puts like a spin on it, and you're going, is that what every 2-year-old imagines when their mom sits them on the Easter bunny's lap? That's why they're screaming.
Right on. Yeah, no, I love that. I love that outfit. Frank the bunny. It's so good. Yeah, like I said, it's creepy but cute. Like his ears are all like floppy, but all weird floppy. Like it's so crazy. Yeah, it's what crazy about that mask. I know we're tiny tangent, but like it's like that kid that made that costume. It's like he spent the shortest amount of time on the body because it's like shit, but the mask is very good.
No, the body is a onesie he got from Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's like, it's like a mullet, party in the front, crazy in the back, or whatever it is. But I'm all like, I'm like, this kid took very much effort into the mask, but the body, he was like, who cares?
He started on it. He was like all ready to role play and go to Comic-Con with it. Spent like 200 hours on the mask. Halloween showed up and he went, fuck, what do I do? And then he thinks of like the Christmas Story with the Pink Bunny pajamas.
Right on. That's funny. That's so true though.
Yep. All right, you got anything else?
I have nothing else except for don't watch this movie. Don't waste your time.
Give it a whirl.
Don't give it a whirl.
It's fine.
It's not fine.
You'll survive. You'll get some laughs.
You might survive, but you won't be a better person for it.
Okay, at least watch it until the football player sings, where she puts the get well card down and the football player sings the fight song.
No, because Netflix will get the view. Don't do it.
Alrighty. Well, we'll agree to disagree. Anyway.
I'm right, though.
No.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BSDrunkPod to stay updated. We'll also be posting the video of this on our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe on YouTube to BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye.
Bye, you guys.